Thank you. So
yes,
Marco?
There we've reached it. It's the end of the event, more or less. Before we go, oh, by the way, I told before Henry came on that was the last PowerPoint. I lied. Sorry. There is another PowerPoint, and that is the one that is hopefully being shown now. I hope you can see it.
We do see it, yes.
You do see it perfectly, because I don't. Anyway, it's yeah, we've reached the end. We've seen all these sponsors do a little piece. We've seen so many technical presentations. We've seen so much, and I actually do believe that I am showing you the wrong PowerPoint. So see, that's the good part of doing it live. I mess up at the last moment. In the meantime,
we do see your Outlook reminder now.
Yes, yes. So you now know what I am about to do.
Yeah, you have a meeting.
I have a go-to webinar. Okay. In the meantime, this is really cool. Show. Right. Yes. There it is. Okay. We have the same. You see it again. Right. Okay. So this is what I wanted to show. Where were we? Who were we? You've seen this before. Do you see my screen actually now? Yes.
We now see the "Who were you" slide.
Yes, that's good. So I showed this slide when we started. You may have noticed that there is about 15 people extra. So during the conference, people joined in. That's always nice. Now that it is over, we promised to send you some stuff. Philip mentioned this earlier as well. We're going to have a few days to regain the sleep that we've lost. But once that is done, we will create some documents that we will send out to everybody who attended, and that will contain a link to a YouTube channel where you can see every presentation. Because even though we spread it out, I do realize that it's very difficult to watch it every session from start to end. So if you want to see something that you've missed, or if you want to see it again, you can do it using that list of videos. We will also send you a list of participants who attended this. That will be the name, the organization, and the email address. Not everybody will be on that list, because we gave you all the option to say if you want to see it or not, if you want to be included in this. If you said that you prefer to be anonymous, that's your perfectly good right. You won't be on that list, and yeah, of course you will not receive the list then as well. It's makes sort of sense. There were a lot of questions during all those sessions. We didn't have time to answer each and every one of them, but we have been following up on them. So after every presentation, Philip has been sending the questions that were missed to the people who were doing the presentation, so they have answered it. That's now all compiled. We will include that in this list as well. And lastly, I will also send out a survey. Every year we do that, just to hear what you would like to see different next year, with this aim that we improve ourselves in the conference every year. A bit later in the year, all the slides of that were presented here will also feature on the AGIFORS membership section. I mentioned this also at the start of it, that this is a section where you find all the slides that were presented in all the sessions from the AGIFORS from ranging back from 1962 when around 1962-ish. So there's a lot of information to be had there. Then there is a question that I asked at the beginning about workforce management. I asked, would you consider it to be successful to have of worthwhile to extend the focus point of this study group to include workforce? Now you answered, it's 15 people, 15 organizations answered. I have a feeling that Philip is, yes, you're doing this. Okay, can you also move to the next one? Out of these answers, well, basically it showed that you are 50-50. You are undecided. There's half of you said yes, it's a good idea to include this because there is so much similarities and there is a gain to be had. Yet also a lot of others sense no, it would just dilute the focus that we have now and rather not. Well, if you consider that this is based upon 15 organizations who answered, which also means that almost 70 organizations did not answer. It sort of means that it's at best a lukewarm response. So we will take it onwards with the council, but I do not expect any changes in the focus point for the coming years. Yesterday, we mentioned this earlier, we had this panel discussion, and that panel discussion ended with a rather nice statement. One of the panelists asked the question like, do we have standardization? Do we have a standard training or a certification? And if we click to the next point, we will see that, Philip, can you move on? Yes, thank you. There does not seem to be, oh yeah, Philip, you need to click a few times now. There does not seem to be a standard training. There does not seem to be certification. Basically, everybody can be picked up from whatever job before, get a few days of talks with previous, what do you call it, with some co-workers, and then you're called a planning specialist. While we see with other departments like dispatch, where there is a certification process, there's also not a neutral body to check the quality of the processes in place and the procedures in place. There is also no, at least not that we knew, a university that has that conducts studies on what is a proper way and the optimal way to do crew management. There's a lot of studies going on what is an optimizer supposed to do and what can be achieved in the optimization, but not so much in the processes of crew management, the planners themselves. So we found it interesting enough to not let this one slip away. So the idea now, what we have is that in the symposium in Toulouse that will happen in September, we are going to come together, create another panel, preferably a workshop with all the crew-related people, and just start brainstorming what we think must we do or can be done about this to make this standardization a fact. And then once we have this, then we can have a good look and seeing what can the AGIFORS play in this, because the AGIFORS is pretty nice as being the spider in the web on this case. So yeah, can we play a role in making this happen? But then something completely different. Next year, I said it many times, we are not going to be doing this live. We are we're not going to do this online. We're going to do this live, and we need you. We need an airline to stand up and say, yes, I would like to be the co-host. It's really fun. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It's some basic things that we ask, and everything else on top of that is just your own choice. It's a great marketing opportunity, and like I said, it's really fun doing it. I've done it myself in the first year. It really is funny. If you find this interesting, please send me an email. Or you don't need to copy this name, because you can just look in your spam folder. My name is probably appearing there quite a lot. But we don't have to wait until next year, because I mentioned it a few times. In September, there is a symposium. That is not just crew. This is the entire spectrum of operation research within an airline. Also very fascinating. So yeah, hopefully you come there. It would be interesting if we have quite big crew participation, if not only for that thing that I mentioned earlier, the workshop on standardization. So if you are interested, it's co-hosted by Air France and Airbus. On the previous slide, there was a link of how you can apply for it. The agifors.org Symposium 2022. Yeah, go and register. And now we've reached the very last slide. So we will see you, Philip, please turn your camera back on. We will see you in 2023. The background will not be the same. I will have to return these planes. I stole them from other people. So they will probably want them back, although I'm trying to keep them. We'll see you next year. There is one more person, the true star of this production. You've heard his voice many times. He has a very soothing voice. It's Gary. I have given him the option to turn his camera back up. Yes, there
Hello.
it is.
Hello. Yes, that was
Gary.
me running that slideshow for you. So sorry about that. So
yes.
trying to be a little predictive there. It was a great time to work with you all again. I really enjoyed it. It's a pleasure to work with AGIFORS. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No, thank you very much. The fact that the only hiccups came when I messed up is all down to you. So I have no idea what we're going to do next year when it's live. Who's going to save us there and then? But
we have to do an on-site recording.
You'll have to see. You'll have to see. Well, take care in the meantime, and thank you both again. All right. Okay.
Bye. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. And with this, Philip, you want the last word?
No, I think. Oh, that's an interesting sharing now. Whatever is being shared. Thank you all for participating, for contributing. A small apologize if some emails, certainly to the panelists, they apologize if some emails have been hammering and demanding. I hope everyone attended, had a nice experience, although it was online, and we are aware that in the world around some events are not online anymore, but it was an explicit decision. Hopefully for the last time. That's all for the best. Now the first time Marcel without glasses. So someone needs vacation, I see.
I have no idea what I'm looking at this moment.
So. Yeah. I hope to see as many as you in Toulouse, latest then next year, wherever we meet, and hopefully as host. And the final and last words up to Marcel, or as we learned, Mr. Marcel.
Thank you so much.
Or as we learned yesterday, Jennifer.
Yes, Jennifer. Yes, that's me. Okay. No, thank you very much. I'm not going to thank anymore. So just let's say goodbye.